Hello. Today I want to talk about just cool stuff that I've got. Mainly like technology, mainly actually just Nintendo stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis. And just what I've got in my room, little trinkets and stuff. So yeah, the first thing I want to show is this kind of like just gonna be a show and tell, I guess. Where I'm just gonna talk about stuff. Yeah. So the first thing is the Nintendo 3DS. It's the original one. Actually, maybe I shouldn't show that. Oh well. And in terms of like consoles, this was like the first, I guess, Nintendo handheld I've ever had. I bought it in 2022 when I was really getting into Pokemon. And this was like the entry device for me. I think I was too broke to buy a Nintendo Switch at the time, and so I bought this and a copy of Pokemon Ultra Moon. I played the hell out of it. Honestly, I think I've got like 100 hours on it. I mainly bought it for like the legendary Pokemon. How old was I then? How old was I when I bought this? I was 14. Okay, awesome. So yeah, in terms of like right now nowadays, I do not really use this because it's actually a very small device, and I have very big hands. As you can see, I can like palm it like a basketball. Um, but yeah, it was a really cool device to play on. Like before the eShop shut down, and then after the eShop shut down, in like a couple of months ago, maybe like yeah, a couple of months ago, I modded this thing. Um, and honestly, the modding scene in for the 3DS, oh, you can see, whoa, you can see my script. Yeah, sorry, the modding scene for the 3DS is quite awesome. And if you have a 3DS, I highly recommend modding it because it's very easy. Like me with zero experience was able to mod it without error. And yeah, it's become very streamlined. But I don't really use this anymore, and the reason why is because I got this bad boy, a 3DS XL. Um, and yeah, this is really cool. This is a Japanese version of the 3DS XL. I'm pretty sure this color is exclusive to the Japanese 3DSs. And I use this mainly because it's a lot bigger than the original 3DS. As you can see, side by side comparison, it's a lot bigger, and it means like playing games on the 3DS. You're not like hunched over like that. You can sit back, you can play your games and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's why I don't really use this one anymore, because this is, to be honest, better in almost every way. A lot of people say like the build quality of the 3DS XL is quite worse. Um, I, I can kind of see that, but the main focus is on it being XL. So you can probably hear the music on my 3DS. Yeah, I've modded this completely. I'll turn the brightness up so you can see. I've got loads of definitely legally downloaded games. And yeah, I've got loads of apps. And modding it is really cool. And yeah, I like this. I play Pokemon games on it. I'm doing like a Heart Gold playthrough, just a little bit at a time. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, maybe I'll post some screenshots of my playthrough on my YouTube community feed. But after I got this, my parents, my mom, she realized I was kind of getting into Pokemon quite a lot, and so we got this, the Nintendo Switch. Now, the Nintendo Switch, for me, was like my main entry into the Pokemon series. I use this a lot. The screen's very much murky, and yeah, I use the hell out of it. It's got, obviously, ignore the stickers on the back. These like little custom stickers I got for it. We got like a Smeargle, we got an Ogerpon. Little good look, have fun. I really like putting stickers on it. It gives a lot of personality. Yeah, you got like the Joy-Con thing. For a long time, the only thing that I played on this was Pokemon. Um, and that's about it. I bought Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Pokemon Violet, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Played through all of them except BDSP because I did not enjoy it. too much. I've actually lost my save, so maybe I'll find it and play through it and maybe like stream it or something. But this was awesome. And recently I started taking it to VGC locals. You have to bring in a Nintendo Switch to play like the actual game against other people. I might do a VGC yap where I go more in depth on it because it's quite interesting. But the Switch. Now, for how old am I? I'm 17 right now. And if you see someone walking around with this, you might think, wow, they're a bit of a neek. You know, because where am I going with this? Sorry, I have no clue where I'm going with this point. But yeah, but I'm trying to transition. I'm trying to transition into to the next item, which is this bad boy. Now, the reason why I was saying, you know, using the Switch makes you look like a neek is because look at the difference. Look at the difference between these two devices. With the Switch 2, this makes it look like a toy. This makes it look like something on eBay. This is my Nintendo Switch 2, and I love this thing to death. It basically takes everything that the original Switch has and makes it better. First of all, you've got a top USB-C port, which allows you. Wait, where is it? Sorry, I don't know how to orientate the camera. Top USB port. Now, this means very nichely, I can charge it like this while I've got the kickstand up. And normally people are like, why do you need that? Because if you're at a VGC local, you can put it down on the table and still charge it. And when you're there for multiple hours, you do need to charge your Switch. Bit of a tangent, sorry. Nintendo Switch 2 is very much a big upgrade because it's just better in every single way. The magnetic controllers, the better performance, the more system resources, it's awesome. And I play a lot more than just Pokemon on it because of the performance capabilities. You know, I've got Mario Odyssey, I've got Pokopia, srry, Mario Kart World, so you can't really see it. Yeah, loads of games. I even got Red Dead Redemption, and it runs really well. And honestly, it's such a great device, so I'm so happy to have it. And yeah, moving on from Nintendo devices, how do I play all of these games? So sorry. Moving on from the Nintendo devices, how do I play games? Now, normally on the Switch, I was used to using the Joy-Cons, right? And on my PC, which I'm recording this on, so I can't really show it off, I play with keyboard and mouse. But I recently started using this, an Xbox controller. Now, this isn't just any Xbox controller, this is the Xbox Elite controller, which to someone who doesn't know what it is, that just sounds like I'm a bit sad I own an Xbox Pro controller. But this is awesome because it has a lot of features. So first of all, let me turn it on so we can see the LEDs. First of all, it has quite a lot of modularity. So for instance, you can take off the joysticks. Joysticks. You can adjust the tension in the joysticks as well. I don't know what use case that has because I'm not that much of a bash. Maybe you can adjust like the sensitivity of it. It has an adjustable D-pad. You know, you see I've got a circle D-pad, but you can also switch it out, for instance, for a plus D-pad. And the cool thing about this is you can use like third-party accessories as well for your controller. I've also seen people being able to change like the skin of the console, which is pretty awesome. Going to the back, it has 4 customizable back buttons, which you can take the plate off if you don't like them. And I really like this because on my PC I can use this to just browse my computer. So I have this one bound to Alt and this one bound to Tab, which allows me to Alt Tab, for instance, out of a game, or whatever, and switch to like YouTube or something, which is really useful for navigating my PC while I'm not at my desk. You know, if I'm sat in bed, I'll get onto that, how I can use my PC in bed. But yeah, yeah, did that make any sense? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's really cool, and I've got a lot of like stuff with it which lets me use it. For instance, there's an app called Control Companion, um, which lets you kind of use the controller as like a keyboard and mouse. So right now I'm moving it. I can't show you because I'm not recording my screen, but it's moving the mouse on my PC by moving this joystick, and this moves it up and down, so you can kind of navigate like websites very easily. And there's even like a weird on-screen keyboard like on like an actual Xbox, which kind of just turns it into like a very weird console, which I quite like. You know, after I sold my Xbox, it's nice to have just that console experience. In terms of other features, um, there's these little. Can you see that? There's this little do my camera so low quality. Holy shit! These little things you can put them up and down, which adjusts the travel time for the triggers, which is kind of useful if you're playing like a shooter. It means you don't have to push down as much. You know, you can like, you know, gaming. But yeah, I use this control a lot, especially on PC. Like if I'm playing like a Steam game, I can just connect this and use it really well. However, it does have some downsides. First of all, there's no gyro, which is kind of niche. But when you're playing like, for instance, like a shooter, it does kind of have an impact, right? Like I've seen the Steam controller has like gyro built in, and that can definitely make a difference, especially with the built-in trackpad. Um, it's not it makes sense from Microsoft end why it doesn't have gyro, because if the normal Xbox controller doesn't have gyro, which means if you're a game developer, you don't need to add gyro for like the 1% of people who own this controller, which would have gyro if Microsoft added it, which makes sense why it doesn't have it. But it still would have been really cool to have that kind of just there as like an add-on, because it would just make the controller a lot better on third-party platforms. But it makes sense why they haven't done it. Second of all, it has this weird ass port. I don't know if you can see that well. This little thing right here, which is mostly useless. If you've had an Xbox controller before, normally when you buy an Xbox, it comes with like this shitty little headset where you can plug in an adapter right here and like I guess mute your mic with a button on the controller. I've also seen like these really weird like mini keyboards you can plug in to like chat shit on Xbox Live. But like in terms of functionality, this port has nothing. And I think this is a really big flaw of the controller, because there's so much potential to just add on like functionality. For instance, a gyroscope. You could plug in a gyroscope and add an entire, you know, functionality. And the third issue that I have is that I can't use this on my Nintendo Switch. A lot of the time, sorry, that's such a weird way to hold it. A lot of the time, you know, when you play like, for instance, if I'm playing Red Dead Redemption, I'm using these Joy-Cons. It's a bit silly, and I would much rather use a controller. However, these guys don't work together. Partially on fault of Nintendo, partially on the fault of Xbox or Microsoft. And I understand they can't really do anything about it, but it does suck. So imagine my reaction when I found one thing which fixes all of those problems, which is onto the next thing. This thing, it looks a bit stupid, but trust me, it's awesome. So this is the Brook X1 SE adapter. Mouthful. And this is really awesome because you can plug it in to the proprietary port on the Xbox, right? It has a built-in gyroscope within the adapter itself. And on the bottom here, can you see that? It has a switch to customize it for Nintendo Switch 2, so you can connect to a Switch 2, all in one adapter. And it has also extra functionality. I think it has like PlayStation touchpad support through some weird fuckery. I don't know how good it is. I've not tested it, but it's there if you want it. It also has what's it called? I forgot the word. It has a button where you can rapidly press without having to actually press it. I forgot the word. I'm sorry. But you can press this and, like, say for instance, press A, and it'll just spam A for you. I do my mind's blanking. This is not good. It has a button remapping, which I've not really used because the Xbox controller has built-in mapping. And then it has like a connection button, and this is really awesome because it solved all of my problems with the controller in one thing, and it is awesome. I've been playing on the Switch 2 with it. For instance, like playing Mario Odyssey, and the gyro works, and you can, like, move the controller like you would like a Joy-Con, and it throws the cat, for instance. I've seen in games like Legend of Zelda you can use the gyro to aim, probably not that drastically, probably like very slight. But yeah, it looks really, really promising, and I'm looking how to get the gyro working on PC because that would be very, very fun. But yeah, the Xbox controller also has profiles, which is why I turned the thing on in the first place. So if I press this middle button, you see how there's now two lights lit up? This allows you to customize all of the buttons, even the back buttons on the controller, to map to different things, and then you can switch profiles. So for instance, right, on this one, I have Alt-Tab bound to here. If I go onto this, there's no more Alt-Tab, but this is my Switch profile for the controller. So the A and B buttons are swapped, and the X and Y buttons are swapped, so it's like I'm using, it's like, it is better. This is my Switch 2 profile, and I've remapped the buttons. I think that's really cool because you can have different instances where you need different buttons, and you can then bind them without having to, like, mess around. And it's really cool because it's all saved within the controller. A lot of people, if you do use the SE or the Series 2 Elite controller, a lot of people will say, don't use Microsoft's app, Xbox accessories. And the main reason is because if you're using your controller on PC, there's actually better open source software, like for instance ReWASD or VWASD, which lets you bind shortcuts to the controller. However, being able to sorry, let me take a breath. I've been talking for 17 minutes. The reason why I use the actual Xbox accessories app is because it has one very niche feature, and that is that it actually saves your button map within the controller itself. Now, why is this important? Because, say for instance, I'm using this profile on the Switch 2. I can save my button mapping, which works with the Switch 2. Whereas if I use something like VWSD, that only works on PC. So, for instance, if I want to go and use my controller on my laptop there, sorry, I don't know how to point, the camera's inverted. If I want to use on my PC, my bindings won't be saved. And so I use the official Microsoft product or software to bind it, just because the built-in binding and saving it within the controller is really important for me. I'm using it on like my Switch or my laptop or whatever, really. I'm pretty sure VWSD just uses like a driver, or you have to connect it to the PC. Maybe not. I don't know. But I have looked into it, and I'm pretty sure it is only like software. Sorry, I don't know what to say. But yeah, that's been most of it. That's most of the stuff that I use. I do actually have another thing right here, which is this crusty old Nintendo Wii. Yeah, this is an old bit of kit. I used to play this with my brother, like Lego Star Wars. However, it doesn't work, and this is why I'm showing it off. Because if anyone knows how to fix this, please let me know. Essentially, whenever I plug it in through the, which one's it? Yeah, the AV multi-out to like my TV, for instance, it just doesn't give me a display. And I really want to use this, especially for modding, because the mod, it looks very easy to mod, and it is just a fun project. I also want to fix this, so if anyone knows anything, please let me know, but I will maybe update people on how this modding goes. yeah, the Wii's also cool because it's got like the GameCube controller port built in. It does use optical media, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I also got this off-brand like Wii controller. I don't know how good it is because I lost my official one. I'm gonna look for that soon. But does this look crap? I don't know. I think it was like £5. This also isn't connecting, by the way, to the Wii, so I don't know if that's a fault of the product or the Wii itself. Yeah, it also does this fucking like epileptic. I'm sorry if you have epilepsy, that might have just caused you to spin out. What else have I done? Over there is my Raspberry Pi. I can't really pick it up because it's plugged in. Maybe I can move my camera. Yeah, there we go. And the Raspberry Pi is really cool because I do so much on this. So first of all, I host a website on it, which isn't just like for like a blog. I use it for like for instance, my password manager, which is also on the Raspberry Pi, so I can access my passwords wherever I am through the internet, through my website. Just for free. Like I do recommend getting like a Raspberry Pi just for a password manager because you can secure your passwords, well, securely, without having to pay a stupid subscription fee and potentially having your data be leaked. Um, I also am hosting a Minecraft server on that thing, as well as the website and the password manager, which is really cool. But it's near my TV because I recently installed this thing called Moonlight, which lets you cast your devices to pretty much anything. So it casts to my Raspberry Pi, and then it's output on the TV. So whenever I restart my Raspberry Pi, it automatically connects to my PC, which lets me then use my PC on my TV. And with the Xbox controller, I can sit in bed. I can sit in bed and then use my PC like a console in bed without having to do anything. Like I literally turn on the Raspberry Pi and it auto connects. It's awesome. Maybe I'll record a video of it. I probably won't. I actually don't care that much. Sorry. But yeah, like the software I was speaking about, it's usable on anything. You can download it to 3DS, so you can cast your PC to 3DS. I think you can download it to like Apple TV as well. It looks really cool. I do recommend it if you want to download it. I think it's either Sunshine or Moonlight. Um, just ask me in the comments if you want to say it because it's really cool. I do highly recommend it if you just want to like cast to a TV because it all works over Wi-Fi. So for instance, I could have a client downstairs and it would work just as well. Sorry, I'm yapping at that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, I think. Do I have anything else? I guess I have a printer down there next to my Grimace sag and my Yoda calendar. Don't ask what date my calendar's on. I've got some deodorant over there. What a shout! What a shock! I've got an Xbox down there under my bed, which is broken. I have seen that the Xbox has recently became cracked and you can mod it. That could be something cool to do because I think my Xbox is bricked. Just because it's that old. That could be a project. I don't know. um, what else? I've got an electric razor. Oh wait, I have actually. I've not used this in a while, so I've not really shown it off. I've got this VR headset, which I've not really used mainly because I need a high power USB cable to stream to my PC because it's a Meta headset, which means you have to use the wonderful Facebook metaverse. But if I get like a USB C cable, I will definitely use this. And maybe it's moddable. I don't know. It's really cool though. I really want to get some use out of this because it is awesome. I've not really tested VR out. And you know, I could do some VR chat activities. And yeah, that's about it. Do I have anything else? Do I have anything else? Not really. Okay. Bye bye.